2010 book is when we started getting involved, and that's when it wasn't finished. 2010 wasn't finished.
Yeah, by 2010 there was one person working on it, and she didn't even finish it. We actually had to finish it.
2011 there was literally no staff.
It's definitely been a strong decline of the popularity of the yearbook. But the yearbook has a pretty rich history.
What's the oldest yearbook that you guys have?
That's the oldest one.
It was, I guess, when the sophomore class came together and made a publication in 1854, and so that is considered the first edition of the Union's yearbook.
But the whole, I guess, the whole tone of the yearbook, the whole vision of the yearbook really starts changing around 34, which that's definitely one of my favorite ones to look at. And you can just kind of see how the times themselves were changing nationally and also here at Union too. And I don't know, I'm just kind of very much blown away by this understanding of where they stood within the times themselves, and also kind of the similarities between their graduating senior class and ours as well. And so they wrote, "Born in a very flood tide of prosperity and national well-being, the class of 1933 has lived through momentous changes in the world order. We have seen tragedy and helplessness in the face of want in our home. Where are we, who will leave Union College within a few brief weeks, going to find ourselves in this chaotic world? Are we to join the hosts of men who have no work, no hopes, and give way to dissatisfaction and despair? Or are we going to face reality with courage, the apparent crumbling of civilization, with the firm belief that maturity and intelligence must find a path through the trackless waters, must develop leaders who guide the whole world out of the wilderness? Are we educated men or frightened weaklings? Has Union College performed her duty to our sons, and have Union sons performed their duty to themselves?"
69, that's when all hell broke loose. It's when the Union book came out. And so for a series of 10 years, these really unique artistic publications that also really just featured these individual stories, the campus community. And that was really well reflected in the books. 1990s, you saw a decline in staff. Going to the 2000s, it was a pretty poorly manned publication, and it was really reflected in the quality of the book, and it's really declined since that time.
Social media definitely has created a decline in the want for physical media, especially Facebook, because people can just upload all of their photos on it. It's not as common for people to have printed out photos. So a book of what most people would say is just photographs doesn't really seem as appealing anymore. It doesn't have the same, I guess, feeling behind it, because people really, they take photos for granted nowadays. We know that things like Facebook and whatever, like I said before, social media, they're all temporary. They come and go as quickly as that. Facebook might not be around in 50 years when you're, I don't know, 70 years old and looking back, but you'll always have your yearbook. It's got a nice alphabetically organized list of everybody who's you'll always forget.
Really looking back on awesome memories and kind of, I don't know, I think 20 years from now, if I look back on a college yearbook, I'd be remembering 4 years that were some of the best 4 years.
Yes, I would love a yearbook when I was seeing this. It's also interesting that our yearbook is more of a piece of art than just a documentary of what happened?
I think it's really important. It's something that you can always look back on, remember your 4 years and all the memories you had, and I think it's a great way to just keep the memory of Union and the amazing 4 years you had.
And so we ended up reviving it with a lot of help of some really great people. But we finished the 2010 book, finished the 2011 book, and now here we are in 2012. We've now figured out this is the 155th edition to be coming out this year.
It's one thing that we're trying to do this year is separate ourselves from Facebook, and so we're going on a more artistic approach to create a book that has things in it that you wouldn't normally see on Facebook. You know that it will definitely exist this year, next year, and
The year
then
after that.
we're
The year after
hopeful
that,
that
and
it
the year
will
after that.
continue after onwards, forever and ever.
Onwards, onwards. Yes.
Yeah.